I'm Marilee Caruso. It's Monday, January 5th. Today, a court appearance for Nicolas Maduro. The deposed Venezuelan leader appears before a New York judge. What he told the court and how Winnipeggers are reacting to his arrest. Also today, battling a major fire, where it happened and why the damage could have been a lot worse. Plus,
many companies started to change the way that they hire and the number of people that they hire.
AI in the workplace, why a local researcher believes it won't be taking your job just yet. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Venezuela's deposed president Nicolas Maduro made a court appearance in New York today following his dramatic capture Saturday. Maduro and his wife pled not guilty to 4 charges, including narco-terrorism and drug trafficking. Joining me now live is CTV's Taylor Brock. Taylor, did Maduro say anything in court besides not guilty?
Actually, he did, Marilee. Earlier today, he told the judge that, quote, "I am a decent man, the president of my country." And Marilee, his lawyers are expected to challenge the legality of his arrest, arguing he's immune from prosecution as a sovereign head of state. Now, meanwhile, here in Winnipeg, the U.S. military operation in Venezuela is getting mixed reactions.
Viva, viva Venezuela!
Yesterday, a hands-off Venezuela protest was held at the intersection of River Avenue and Osborne Street. As you can see, dozens of protesters gathered, including some who brought U.S. flags, throwing them on the street while some passing vehicles honked. The chair of Peace Alliance Winnipeg believes the U.S. operation was illegal and wants the federal government here to take a strong stand.
Canada's statement has said while it expects international law to be supported, it is perfectly fine. This is Canada's statement. Perfectly fine that Maduro was removed, and that's not right. If Canada supports international law, then it must demand that President Maduro be repatriated back to Venezuela because he is the president of that country.
Now, others had opposing views. In an email, one Winnipegger from a local Venezuelan group told CTV News that they are, quote, buying the propaganda of the regime. Those tensions were visible at the Winnipeg protest. An argument broke out between attendees and a man while our cameras were there. Now, CTV's Jeff Keel is speaking with members of the Venezuelan community today. He will have their reaction coming up at 6.
Taylor, what's next for Maduro?
Well, he'll stay detained for now, Marilee. His next court date is set for March 17th.
All right, thanks for this, Taylor. A former Winnipeg police officer has admitted to selling various drugs to friends and other officers on and off duty. Elston Bostock pleaded guilty in Manitoba's Court of King's Bench today to trafficking cocaine, ecstasy, and various prescription drugs over an 8-year period. Bostock was first arrested and charged in 2024 and pled guilty to several offenses this past November. Police Chief Gene Bauer said Bostock, who was previously suspended without pay, has been booted off the force. Bostock is expected to be sentenced at a later date. Winnipeg fire crews battled an intense fire this weekend that fully engulfed a Transcona garage. Flames could be seen coming out of the garage in the 400 block of Melrose Avenue West. It happened just before 1 in the morning on Sunday. The city says it took roughly an hour to put the blaze out, and firefighters were able to contain the fire, protecting neighboring homes from damage. The cause is under investigation. We're learning more about the aftermath of a failed hydro line to a First Nation in Cross Lake.
200 cases that where some of the houses are not going to be able to, are severely compromised, I would say, meaning that they're unlivable right now.
In a virtual news conference Saturday, Pimachikamak Cree Nation Chief David Monius said he's trying to come up with a recovery plan, pegging the cost of the repairs at $44 million at the bare minimum. Most of the water pipes, pumps, tanks, even water plants are frozen, and Monius says water is now seeping into electrical sockets and light fixtures. He also said water plants in the south and north end of the community are out of commission with major leaks. The Northern First Nation was out of electricity for almost a week after a 300-meter-long power line that runs between 2 islands in the Nelson River failed. The majority of Winnipeg rooming houses inspected by fire prevention officers last year didn't comply with regulations. That's according to a new report at City Hall. It says inspectors looked at 141 of the city's 147 licensed rooming homes with shared facilities, and just 27% were compliant at first inspection. The most common issues had to do with fire and smoke alarm systems, followed by fire escape maintenance and fire extinguishers. There were also 32 infractions for garbage accumulation. The report says the city received 94 complaints from the public about rooming houses in 2024, and nearly a fifth of those were for a single property in Fort Richmond. Chances are you've used it without even knowing. Artificial intelligence is affecting more and more aspects of our lives, and some are worried it will lead to large-scale job losses. But at least one Winnipeg computer scientist doesn't believe there's any imminent danger of that happening. David Gerhard, head of computer science department at the University of Manitoba, says AI is being integrated into our lives in many ways, but so far it hasn't led to widespread job loss.
The big changes to employment are not really coming about the way we thought they were going to be. Many companies started to change the way that they hire and the number of people that they hire, but the economic benefits of AI aren't necessarily panning out. And so it's not necessarily going to be fewer jobs or different jobs. It's going to be people being expected to integrate the use of AI into their workflows.
In the coming year, Gerhard expects the conversation to switch to data sovereignty, as many of the companies deploying artificial intelligence are in the United States. All right, let's bring in weather specialist Colleen Brady to get a first look at our Skywatch evening forecast. What are you tracking for us tonight, Colleen?
Well, first of all, mild conditions. You'll notice it's a lot less cold out there today than it has been to ring out 2025 and ring in 2026. And the rest of the week will be quite mild as well. We'll have a bit of a dip when we get to the weekend, but then a nice rebound even after that. As for the sky conditions, you can see clearly it's cloudy on the radar, but along the international border, you can see there's more than just that. So there's the possibility tonight of snow, of freezing drizzle, of freezing rain, and even fog in southern Manitoba. I'll tell you more about that as we go. But the CTV Live Eye is brought to you by Bath Fitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. Let's take a look in Winnipeg right now. The conditions are -6 degrees. It's cloudy out there with the wind chill. It feels like -10. Light winds out of the south-southeast at 9 kilometers an hour. The pressure is dropping, and the humidity is 96%. Busy out there on the roads, as you can see. A live look at Portage Avenue, just past Polo Park to the west of the Polo Park area. Traffic moving well in both directions. Actually, heavier traffic heading east or inbound toward downtown right now, by the looks of it.
Wearable safety, how a Canadian invention could help prevent seniors from getting injured.
Get Winnipeg's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
Canadian oil stocks got battered today as investors worried about the impact of Washington running Venezuela, an oil-rich nation. The big Canadian oil stocks dropped between 5 and 7%. The concern is that under the U.S., Venezuela will release some of its oil reserves into the market and make the U.S. less reliant on Canadian oil. Canada currently exports about 4.5 million barrels of oil a day to the U.S. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 72.66. West Texas Intermediate is up $1 to 58.32. Western Canadian Select is up a dime to 43.93. And the TSX gained 336 points today to a new record close of 32,219. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Market Watch is brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross. Group health plans for any size business.
We're getting a first-hand look at a unique Canadian invention. It's inflatable clothing to help protect seniors in case of a fall. CTV's Christine Long shows us how it works and what inspired the idea.
That's the sound of a small airbag inflating as Azimut Medical co-founder Pierre Lee demonstrates a fall. The waistband of those pants is full of technology.
Like an airbag, and is completely inflated by the time you hit the ground. And so the goal here is to protect your hips, protect hip fractures, protect from pelvic injuries.
Co-founder Maxime Bolduc explains the slim airbag hardware isn't new, but their patented software can recognize a real fall and not just when you're plopping down on the couch.
So what we do is that we derive real movement, real falls from people, and we train the algorithm on that.
The idea was inspired by his concerns for his grandparents. And if ever there was a grandson qualified to build this, it's Bolduc. He has a degree in mechanical engineering and a master's in innovation management, which he used to create a product more advanced than traditional hip protectors.
So this innovation that is coming with the inflatable hip protector is something great, because people wouldn't really like the hip protectors we had in the past.
Geriatrician Dr. Stéphane Lemire says proper protection in falls could reduce the need for hospitalization in seniors.
This issue of preventing falls, preserving mobility, making sure that people will not break something.
Yet, at this point, these revolutionary pants don't come cheap. The commercial price could be $1,500 a pair.
So using this right now, our pre-production version is 64% more effective than a regular hip protector.
Clinical trials begin in January with a list of clients in Quebec and Ontario who want to start the new year with more safety on their sides. Christine Long, CTV News.
Soaring high at the box office, just how much money the latest Avatar movie has earned.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Big Sugar.
Colleen Brady is back now for Spotlight, and it looks like James Cameron has another big hit on his hands.
Does he ever? The latest Avatar movie reached an important milestone at the box office this weekend. Avatar: Fire and Ash has joined the first two films in the series in securing more than $1 billion US in ticket sales. The achievement comes after 18 days in theaters and dominating the box office throughout the holiday season.
Well, we've been official partners for 1 week. Happy anniversary.
But the film with the most staying power was Zootopia 2, which landed in second place with $19 million. It opened all the way back in November and has now amassed $1.59 billion in 6 weeks. Meantime, the twisty thriller The Housemaid, starring Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried, has emerged as a holiday hit, collecting $14.9 million.
Timothée Chalamet's campaign for an Oscar, I just love saying his name.
Chalamet.
He got a big boost when it comes to his Oscar bid this weekend.
It sure did. He won Best Actor at the 31st Critics' Choice Awards for his performance in Marty Supreme.
And lastly, I'll just say thank you to my partner of 3 years. Thank you for our foundation. I love you. I couldn't do this without you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that got attention online, Marilee. Chalamet thanked his partner Kylie Jenner as he accepted the award. In Marty Supreme, he plays a 1950s table tennis champion who is consumed by his ambition. He beat out Leonardo DiCaprio for his performance in One Battle After Another. However, the film that ended up winning Best Picture overall was DiCaprio's, as well as picking up awards for Best Director and Best Adapted Screenplay.
Interesting. Speaking of flicks, it looks like we will get a new Top Gun movie after all.
That's good news for fans of the series, because for a while it looked like it might be blocked because of a dispute over the story rights.
Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking.
Deadline reports a trio of U.S. judges has quashed a copyright infringement lawsuit. It had been launched by the estate of the journalist who penned the original piece that inspired the first Top Gun movie. An appeals court says the smash hit sequel Top Gun Maverick did not share sufficient content with the original to allow for a suit to go forward.
Singer Hilary Duff is back, and she's working with someone very familiar to her husband.
That's right. They have a new collaboration, and you could say they feel lucky to have the opportunity.
We just made a whole entire album together.
Yeah, but you don't sing on it.
There's a little backgrounds here and there.
Like, so tucked away.
We collabed on 3 Kids.
We did.
That was my favorite collaboration.
Hilary Duff and her husband, Matthew Coma, I'm trying to read that, chatted with Apple Music about working on her latest record together. Luck or Something is out February 20th. Now, Duff is about to head out on a tour called Small Rooms, Big Nerves. That starts in 2 weeks. She's making one Canadian stop in Toronto, January 24th.
A star from the Marvel movies is revealing some details about a major health struggle.
That's right. Evangeline Lilly says she's suffering from brain damage. The actress fainted and hit her head on a rock at a beach several months ago. She was diagnosed with a concussion at that time, but now the 46-year-old says scans have shown almost every area of her brain is functioning at a decreased capacity. Lilly stars in the Ant-Man franchise and was previously on the hit TV show Lost. She says she's getting ready to start the hard work of recovery after enjoying a restful Christmas.
Wow. Wish her well.
We sure do.
Thanks, Colleen.
You're welcome. Your primetime lineup starts at 7 tonight with St. Dennis Medical. The Big Bang Theory is on at 7:30, then back-to-back at 8 and 9. Catch 911. It's all right here tonight on CTV. A live look at Osborne Street. Busy along Osborne Street South. Misty in Winnipeg. Mild too, -6 degrees. I'll have your full week's forecast coming up.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
A bluefin tuna reeled in a record $4.4 million at a fish auction in Tokyo. The 243-kilogram fish, which is equal to 545 pounds, was caught off the northern Japanese coast. Breaking down the cost, the winning bidder paid more than $18,000 per kilogram. The bluefin stock is recovering thanks to conservation efforts. The species was previously threatened because of the fish's popularity for sushi.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Colleen Brady back now with your complete Skywatch forecast. Mild out there, but a bit misty.
Yeah, a little bit of a trick to it. Yes, we've had misty conditions reporting out of Winnipeg Airport all day long. Out in Brandon, there's been freezing drizzle. Overnight, there was snow. There's been freezing fog there all throughout the day. That continues this hour. But picking up closer to the international border, again, you kind of see all manner of things here in the midst of these mild conditions. A little bit of light snow, but also perhaps some freezing drizzle, even freezing rain is possible. Misty conditions also reporting this hour in northwestern Ontario around Kenora, so similar conditions there. Across the north, a disturbance that's not too disturbing, put it that way, will be crossing the northern half of the province tonight. Some of it's already gone through. It'll leave a few centimeters behind at most in some areas, but for the most part, not even that much. Meanwhile, down here in the south, take a look at that change over to pink. That suggests either freezing drizzle or freezing rain. What that means, of course, is the potential for slippery roads and highways tonight, so do watch out for that. And that extends further east into northwestern Ontario, as does that snow coming into more northern Ontario there. But in behind, you can see we clear out almost like a curtain being pulled back from west to east. Brightens up. We'll see a sunny day tomorrow across much of Manitoba. A little cloudier in northwestern Ontario, and then a little bit more snow pops up crossing the north again, and even less disturbing disturbance, if you will, crossing northern Manitoba. Then we get into Wednesday. You can see it's still cloudy, or not cloudy, sunny, pardon me, cloudy in the north, sunny here in the south. I've got clouds on the brain. It's been a cloudy kind of day, and it will be a cloudy kind of night ahead. Now, there's the possibility of snow, also freezing drizzle. There's also the risk of freezing rain. On top of all of that, we could see fog patches developing overnight on the way down to -10. Winds out of the south of 15 kilometers out their strongest. They'll get lighter than that even 15 kilometers is not particularly strong. Even lighter winds for the bulk of the night, really mid-evening onward, those winds will lighten up. Picking up a bit tomorrow out of the southwest at 15 15 kilometers an hour. A mix of sun and cloud, a high of -8. But again, the chance is less than tonight, but we can't entirely rule out the possibility, once again, of fog, especially in the morning. Light snow, freezing drizzle, or even freezing rain. There's the risk of it. So just be aware of these conditions while we enjoy these mild temperatures. Speaking of which, -2 under mostly sunny skies on Wednesday. Similar conditions right across the south into Thursday. Not too bad either. -4, mostly sunny, well above normal. -13 is normal for perspective, so you can see it is quite mild. The overnight lows barely dropped to -13. Friday, -7 is the high, mix of sun and cloud, and then a nice weekend. Again, a mix of sun and cloud both Saturday and Sunday. -9, the high on Saturday, up to -4 by the time we get to Sunday. So a bit of a reprieve after a couple of cold weeks in our region. Our first weather photo takes us out to beautiful West Hawk Lake and a look up at the sky there, those clouds. That photo is from Ellie. And this next photo was taken here in Winnipeg at beautiful Kildonan Park. That photo was shared with us by Bren Lee. Send us your weather photos. You can do that by email to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
The CTV Skywatch Pick of the Day is brought to you by the Manitoba Chiropractors Association. We've got your back.
Fort White Alive brings in visitors year-round. In the winter, you can skate, ski, and toboggan down a slide right onto the frozen lake. And soon, you'll have another option, ice fishing. The Fort White ice fishing experience will operate throughout the winter and is for people of all experience levels. Everyone from people trying ice fishing for the first time to families looking for a new outdoor activity during the long winter months. And you won't have to spend the entire time exposed to the elements. There will be warm tents available with guided ice fishing and storytelling options available. Dates and booking information is expected to be released in the near future. I think that's going to be popular.
And daylight is starting to get a little bit longer. We're working on it, folks.
That is the toughest part.
It is. It's hard when it's so dark this time of year and so cold, but it's so much better this week temperature-wise.
You can feel the difference instantly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. That does it for us this hour, but don't go far. We're back at 6 o'clock with much more local news. Hope to see you then.